Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Fantasy Beer Name Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And this podcast, as ever, is sponsored by your friends and ours, Mosaic Board Print. Beer mats for your bar. Europe's leading beer mat manufacturer. If you find me someone that has better beer mats than these guys, I will knife you.
Oh man, you got off to a violent start, as expected. Because I think it is literally sponsored by Mosaic Board Print, but also it's in a very metaphorical way sponsored by alcohol. Because we've been drinking before we've started recording this, haven't we?
Yeah, okay, everyone. If you have not watched yet the video that we did on, what was it? Hop blends.
I mean, it was literally an hour ago.
Yeah. If you haven't watched Hops and Blends and Hops and Trends of 2025, go and check it out now, because that may explain why we're a wee bit squiffy.
Well, not that squiffy. I'm fine.
You are, but you're a Trojan.
Yes.
You just basically get drunk off me just being a bit drunk.
Yeah.
I
mean, you were smashing about the DIPAs pretty hard, my friend.
So, Paul, Fantasy Beer Name Podcast, this one should be fun. We don't have our boy Luke for this.
We don't have our boy Luke because you messaged him and said, when can you do the podcast? Can you do tonight or can you do tomorrow? And he says tomorrow. And then we recorded something tonight and you went, fuck it, we got a drink. Let's just do the podcast.
That isn't what happened.
We don't need Luke. You said, throw him to the curb.
That is
curb stamp him like American History X.
American History, great film. That isn't what I said.
Oh.
What I said was
I remember it.
Pretty much true up to the point where he said, I can do tomorrow better than tonight.
Yeah.
And then I said, cool, see you tomorrow. And then at about 2:00 this afternoon, you messaged me saying, shit, dude.
I don't remember this.
I've got puppy class tomorrow.
I don't remember that.
It's going to have to be tonight.
Don't remember that.
You're taking Ziggy Stardog to one of her many puppy classes.
No, it isn't. Puppy class is the name of our new burlesque group.
Is it?
It's me and the girls. That's what we practice at the town hall on the Thursday.
Is it?
Me and
Wollaston
Bob.
Town Hall.
Yep. Me and Julie,
fantastic.
Bob.
Fantastic.
Dawn.
Look,
all the classics.
I'm going to get a beer, but ultimately, we need to talk about, as is always the case with the Fantasy Beer Name Podcast, what's the thing here?
What's the
beer
vibe?
name? What's the?
So,
and I'm going to pour a beer while we're at it.
Because we came in pretty unprepared to this tonight. You know, we haven't got a Luke.
No.
We haven't got the name of the podcast really.
Nope.
And we definitely haven't thought about any breweries that can help support it theoretically. It dawned on me this weekend. In fact, it was my wife Hannah who said. She said, "Oh, you know, we've got our dog Ziggy," and she said, Ziggy has got his first collab beer, which is, you know, what we did. Ziggy Stardog with
She.
It is a she, isn't it?
Don't assume it's gender, kids. But Ziggy is a girl, as far as I was aware.
I knew there was a downfall by giving an androgynous name to our dog, and and this is where he's bit me on the arse.
You tried to go all Mark about it. No, hang on. Mark isn't an androgynous name. You tried to go all Andy? Andy?
Andy's got with an I, maybe.
Andy with an I. You tried to go all Andy with an I.
Let's move on. And yeah, sorry. So my dog Ziggy got a collab with Baron, and then Hannah over the weekend said she looked at our cat, who's called Steve.
There he was.
Who's definitively a boy, and she said, Steve needs a collab. And I went, that's it. That's the beer name.
Steve needs a collab.
That's the beer name.
Okay.
Next beer name we do with somebody, it's called Steve Needs a Collab.
Okay.
Now, Steve is a black and white tuxedo cat. So mainly black with a white chest. Cool looking dude. Sometimes looks a bit like Batman. But we call him Oreo. So instantly my head went to, a Oreo flavoured stout of some description.
Yeah.
Oh. And then it was, who do we know that we've spoken in the past about brewing a stout with?
It all rests on the name, doesn't it? And is Steve Needs a Collab going to be the beer name, or is it?
No, Steve Needs a Collab is the beer I want to do with
Okay, so
Emperors.
So this. Okay, you're going to throw it straight out there.
No, yeah, you're throwing the ball around a little bit. Yeah, just say fucking me.
I am a bit, but also I suppose if you're coming onto the subject of emperors, I mean, you say tuxedo, but black and white, stormtroopers, black and white, or are they white and black? But either way, you know what I mean. Well, they're a commander or not.
The main problem was, of course, Steve Needs a Collab is in no way, shape, or form Star Wars themed. So,
well, I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to get generative AI on it. And you need to ask Chatty Jeeps, as I call him, or her.
GPT. So, yeah, like, how do we incorporate Steve Needs a Collab into a Star Wars-based pun name, which are already heavily, I guess, watered-down puns of Star Wars?
Because emperors won't touch us without a beer name that is going to fit the Star Wars mold. So what do we have? I mean, find one. In fact, find it while I tell you about this beer.
I'm going to need to use your phone, though, dude, because mine's over there charging. So tell us.
Okay.
Because you poured us a sour beer to start with, which I imagine was some kind of half-hearted way of trying to sober us up a little bit. But
yeah, tell them about this beer and why it works. And in the meantime, I will see if I can get ChatGPT to design us a Steve-based name for a Star Wars beer collab.
Sound.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, a bit unusual choice for us, really, because Chris has poured us a kiwi and guava sour, 4.5%, from Sureshot. The mighty Sureshot. We'll talk a bit more about Sureshot later on, actually. There's some stuff afoot up that neck of the woods. But, yeah, so this is a fruited sour beer with kiwi and guava.
Okay, so firstly, I am glad to be getting rid of that beer because that kiwi and guava sour has been hanging around way too long.
Well, let's not do Sureshot as a disservice. As kiwi and guava sours go, it's perfectly kiwi and guava-y.
It gets rid of
that, though, doesn't it? Yeah.
It gets rid of everything that we drank before, which was good beer. So it's given. I really feel like ChatGPT has missed the mark here.
Go on. So what have you put in here then as a prompt into ChatGPT?
So I've asked it for generate me some names for a Star Wars based collab with Emperor's Brewing, but we want to honour Steve the Cat.
Yes.
Make it punny.
Ha.
So we've got Steve, a new purr. Steve Strikes Back.
Oh, that's just lazy.
Return of the Steve.
No, that's just shit.
The Phantom Meowness. The Rise of the Steve.
That's just amalgamating too much stuff and the pun doesn't work. Yeah.
Attack of the Steves.
Brilliant. That's just shit.
Revenge of the Steve.
Steves. Yeah, I can see a theme. Yeah.
Obi Steve Kenobi.
That's fucking shit.
The Meow DeLorean.
Oh, that's pretty good. Keep that one.
But instead of this is the way, this is the purr.
What?
Cat 1, Legend of Steve.
Cat 1?
Cat 1, I don't know.
What?
Rogue Steve.
You can't just say two words and one of them happens to be in a Star Wars title.
The Empire Scratches Steve.
Oh no.
The Porrentis, Steve's Fall to the Dark Side.
That's a cat-based Trump biography.
Order 66, Steve did nothing wrong.
This is brilliant because what they're doing there, right? They're taking the Thanos did nothing wrong meme from the Avengers, pulling it to Order 66, which is like the Star Wars initiative to murder all the Jedis, right? And just meld it into one thing and just putting Steve in the middle. ChatGPT, fucking shit. I'm sorry.
If ever there was a endorsement for ChatGPT and how generative AI can really fill the gaps on your beer branding experience, this isn't it.
Unless your job is literally creating the worst Star Wars puns of all time, like which make no sense, then your job is a bit safe at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah. I'd say so. I mean, we know we want
Obi Steve Kenobi. I can't get over that one.
Obi Steve Kenobi.
Jesus Christ.
Damien, Well, I mean, we'll be in touch on WhatsApp. We need to try and arrange a date. But
We could eliminate the Steve thing, by the way.
in the meantime, if there's any brewers out there who do dark beers who want to do a kind of Steve collab, then
Yeah. I
hit
think
us up.
I feel like our need and desire to work with Emperor's Brewing and our desire to have a Steve Needs a Collab as a name is probably restricting us. Something's got to give at some point, right?
So good. Oh, I mean, some of those were so bad they were good. And yeah.
When you say like Steve Skywalker, Steve Walker, a new Steve, Dark Steve beer. Oh, there we go, nailed it. Well done, GPT.
Episode 17.
Oh, 7 per. You mean?
Oh, right. Right.
Hell.
What do we think of this sour?
It's fine. It's 4.5%, mate.
It's doing exactly what it needs to do.
It's actually just refreshed by Palais.
Mm.
Because we have drank 6 big hazy beers with mental hops in, so it's all good.
What have we been up to lately?
So, I just burped, you just dribbled. Absolute disgrace. It feels like we've been fairly productive on the filming front, but a lot of stuff hasn't come out.
I think the problem that I'm having at the moment is a lot of the stuff that we are doing is podcast heavy.
Yeah, or interview heavy.
Yeah, interview heavy, and I don't want to start scaring off subscribers who are like just here for the beer content. So don't worry if you are one of those people. I mean, you probably wouldn't listen to the podcast, but even if you were, there's beer content coming.
And if you wanted to scare you off, we just put women on the channel.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing that I did, I went to Islay. Islay, which is an island off the west coast of Scotland, just north of Northern Ireland. So you can really pinpoint the geography there. And I went to 6 of the 9/10 Scotch distilleries over there, and
You did, didn't you?
it was incredible. I loved it, and
Really great time, didn't you?
yeah, I've bought back like £370 worth of whiskey across 5 different bottles. My wife just coughed in the other room there. She didn't realise the number. She knew 5 bottles. She didn't know how much it cost.
I mean, some of them were mine, and I paid you the money for it. So
Okay, so 7. I bought back 7 bottles of whiskey.
sorry, Katie, if you're in the other room listening to this.
But you did pay for those. But no, I love it. And actually, we've got an idea for a video right now, which is directly inspired from that trip to Islay, which would be the Boilermaker video, where we are essentially going to try. Well, we're gonna match up whiskies with different styles of beer.
I'm terrified about this.
I think it's going to be really fun.
But my main problem is we tend to film these on a weekday.
The thing is, Okay, so that's not possible because we need to film this at the Hop Vault.
Yeah, I'm still scared.
Because they've got the majority of the whiskey that we need.
We can still do that on school night.
We could still do it on a school night, but I actually think maybe Saturday morning.
Oh, brilliant, yeah. Let's drink 8 whiskies on a Saturday morning.
I mean, look, man. I mean, it was.
And then you can go parent your child.
I mean, it kind of depends, doesn't
I'm already misgendering my dog. God knows what I'll do to the dog if... Well, that sounds wrong.
Stop there.
Do anything sexualized. Suspect I might call her a dick or something. That's all it is. Loudly in public after 8 whiskies on a Saturday morning, followed by 8 beers. I think that was.
I mean, and probably then a couple of bottle of wines, knowing you and Hannah, because Hannah would be like, she wouldn't be able to stop.
Stop.
Okay,
stop.
yeah,
Right.
I will stop.
No.
I know consent.
Don't talk about over drinking, because I've heard stories about you lot in Islay, which pretty much summed up to me that you've all got drinking problems. You all had gastro problems, I think, at the end of that. But
it took me about a week to recover.
Yeah. So we don't need to get into the stories, but what I heard was there was extreme drinking, which involved obviously too much whiskey, way too much Guinness, way too much red wine in one session,
and Prosecco,
and then almost a comical amount of oysters.
There was no red wine, actually. It was Prosecco.
Oh, someone told me it was red wine, so someone was drinking red wine.
Oh, I don't know.
Might
be someone,
different thought, probably. But Prosecco was in the mix as well.
Prosecco was in the mix. I mean, originally we were going to order...
Go on.
Look. I need to set the record straight here. So, actually, first day, Tuesday, we go up to Campbelltown. Day before we're catching the ferry.
Which is where they make the soup.
Yeah, very good, very good. Campbelltown, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Right.
In Scotland, on like a peninsula. But what it is next to is Craig, maybe? I don't know. I think it's
unless you live in Ireland, you're not going to know.
Yeah. Well, in Scotland. But because we're still on the mainland at this point.
Oh, it's Campbell. I thought Campbelltown was just an island slightly off the map.
Campbelltown is on the mainland, and it's on like a peninsula just off from Glasgow. But yeah, so we stayed there. I'm not going to go into the details of it because if anyone doesn't like whiskey, it'll bore the shit out of you. But essentially, we stayed there, did a bit of a whiskey trip, warehouse tasting, and then the next morning we went over to Craig to get the ferry across to Islay, which miraculously takes 2 hours. I was like, I didn't think anything took 2 hours from this.
You look on the map, it's a tiny amount of space between Islay and...
Does not look far, does it?
At all.
No, but 2 hours. And I think what it is, they have to kind of go round like another island. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pretend to know.
Nah.
But either way, it took 2 hours.
You're off your tits on whiskey.
Really fun, though. Actually, a really nice little ferry journey. And what you've got to imagine as well is you are essentially surrounded by... when you get to the business end of it, you're basically surrounded by islands that are mountains in the middle of the sea.
Pretty hardcore terrain.
It's pretty like it. It's what I would imagine. I've not done a fjord cruise, but it's very much what I imagine they see because there's just like massive hills on either side.
Yeah,
you're on the sea on a narrow stretch of water, and it looks epic. So we went to Islay on the first day, and I'm not going to go into the details because no one cares on a beer channel unless you want us to start Planet Whiskey TV. Let us know in the comments. But I'm not going into the details, but yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, they were fairly sensible days considering that we were doing 2 warehouse tastings a day, starting at 10 a.m. in the morning, finishing at like 5, and then going back to our Airbnb and, well, we'd have a meal, then go back to the Airbnb and do board games or...
Fuck you, they never told me this.
Or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or chess. I don't know. It's just things that we were up to at the time.
Or board games, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or chess.
Or drinking whiskey, which is another thing you can do with that. But yeah, okay, Friday. So Friday being the last night, we had, and I will go into a little bit more detail on this, just to get the real Henry VIII excess on the day as it kind of went. So we had an Ardbeg tasting at about 10:30.
Ardbeg being
distillery on the south coast of Ireland.
That's the most southern distillery, I think. I
think it's possibly the most southern.
Yeah.
We arrived too early for our tour, so what we did was we had our breakfast bap and a breakfast whiskey in the cafe. So which was lovely.
What time was this then?
It's like 10 o'clock.
Okay, so you're on the booze like hardcore early at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was only the one, but then we went for a really good tasting at Ardbeg. He took us through. We had some really good...
It was only the one whiskey, and then we were just drinking whiskey all day.
And then, we had one, and then we had 6 in the warehouse tasting. Then from Ardbeg, we walked on down to Lefroig.
Oh.
So, Lefroig, another good one. We didn't have a warehouse tasting book there, but what we did do is we went to the whiskey bar there and we heard that everyone on Islay talks about Lefroig's whiskey cheese.
Oh.
So we were like, well, let's have lunch. So we went for some whiskey cheese at Lefroig. So we were essentially eating a wheel of cheese each. Then from there, we had 3 whiskies there. Then we went to our tasting at Lagavulin.
Oh, nice. Which is, when you said, do you want me to get you a bottle of Lagavulin? I went, why do I know that? transpires.
It's the Ron Swanson.
It's the Ron Swanson
Yeah,
distillery from.
So one of the cool things about that, because I did ask the guy in the tasting about the kind of Ron Swanson effect, or what's his name, the actual actor,
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, Nick Offerman. Apparently, he does have stuff to do with that whiskey that they sell. You know, that kind of that Lagavulin 12, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, apparently, they were sending him out samples for like approval.
Oh, nice.
So that partnership with the Parks and Rec team seemed to be like a genuine thing.
Oh, nice.
Or at least that's what they told us from a marketing perspective. And what you need to understand about Islay, it's all marketing, baby. But yeah, so we went there, and then after that, so we probably finished up around like 4:30 or something. Then we walked into Port Ellen. We went to a pub while we waited for our reservation at this restaurant, which I can't remember, but it's really good. And we had like 3 pints of Guinness, or me and Mark did. I think the other two, like Nick and Rob, they had Tennants. And here's the interesting thing, right? This will come into it a bit later.
It's a beer channel, dude.
They were the only ones that threw up. That's all I'm saying. So, me and Mark had 3 pints of Guinness. They had 3 pints of Tennants. Then we went to go to our meal. Then they told us that we're an hour early. So sent us back to the pub. So we had another 2 pints.
That's calamitous wankers.
So we had another 2 pints. Then we went back to the restaurant.
2 pints.
Then we went in there and we were hungry. I mean, we'd also eaten like an ungodly amount of bar snacks and scratchings and stuff.
And whiskey.
Well, I mean, there was the whiskey and the wheel of cheese. For some reason, Whiskey Rob, he thought that when we were ordering, we would order our starters and we'd just all have oysters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and Mark were not gassed about having oysters. Well, it's fine.
You will be.
And he just went, 24 oysters, please. And they went, oh, not sure if we've got enough for that. We'll have to let you know. And then they went off. So, well, actually, before they went off, me and Mark were like, well, it's fine. We'll just have the prawns. We'll have gambas pill. Which, I don't know, is that like firecracker prawns or something? I don't know.
Fuck you on about. It's the first time I've ever heard that in my 47 years of life. Gambas
pill. It's prawns.
You sound retarded. Stop saying gambas pill at me, you fucking lunatic.
So we had that. He said, yep, 24's fine, but I'll also bring you the prawns. And then on top of this, we'd all ordered ribeye steak.
Right, got it.
So we're going for a real surf and turf experience. Then he comes back and says, oh, I've actually found more oysters. I can bring you more. And Rob was like, well, how much do you mean by more? And he went, we've got 36. To which Whiskey Rob just went, send them out.
Did he?
And we're like, hang on.
36 extra oysters on the 24 you didn't want in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So, okay, and then, which is miraculous for a place that couldn't originally find us 24.
Yeah. I think the collective noun for that many oysters is a dysentery of oysters.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on to this. Before I carry on, though, what is this? What are we drinking?
What? Oh, the beer.
Yeah, because
are you gassing away?
We're off the sour.
I've sneaked in a spare one. This is it's called
Slalom.
It's called Slalom, and it's from Only with Love. I see a lot. Down, but I don't drink any of their beers really.
So Only with Love came from Bruiser, like that. This is just a
right.
Bruiser.
This is a Bruiser, but it's a cracking can art, by the way.
Ooh, it's an interesting beer. That
it's a bitter. It's a retro 1950s robot in a hiking jacket with skis on his back. It's nice. It's a mountain IPA, 6%, and it's got Centennial, Simcoe, Columbus, Amarillo, and it's really good. We just drank some absolute, like some of the best beers of the year.
It's not going to work. I need to wee. In the meantime, here's a message from our sponsors. That was a refreshing ad break.
Feeling refreshed, Chris.
Oh, yes, that was lovely.
Anyway, yes, so Mountain IPA. So called...
That's the one because it's between the East Coast and the West Coast, right?
Rockies.
The Rockies.
Rockies.
Or could we say the Appalachians?
You tell what you want.
Or the Adirondacks?
No, you're just saying things you've learned
I'm just saying...
today on the internet.
I'm just saying mountain ranges in America. Which, to be fair, I know without looking at the internet.
Ah, good
anyway,
for you.
Let me just wrap up Henry VIII Friday.
Jesus, this is like tonal whiplash. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
no,
going on.
so yeah, it's a really long story. Sorry, but essentially, what happened was then. So we had our steak. We had 60 oysters. I ate 8. Mark ate 2, and then between the other 3, I don't know. They polished off the rest of that 60, which I don't even want to work the math on.
Just no,
but. Nick and Whiskey
no.
Rob were the ones that basically hammered all of those oysters and their steak. And then we also had a bottle of Prosecco. Originally, we were going to order 2 bottles of Chianti, but there was 50 quid a bottle.
Oh, maybe that's where the red wine thing came
that's what
from.
it is.
Okay.
After that, we went back to the Airbnb. Nick and Rob were very quiet. Me and Mark finished up a game of chess, then did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I don't know what to make of this. There's something wrong with you lot.
I mean, drinking.
Where's the through line?
I don't know. I don't.
It's
know
it's like you're at one point you're like breeding the basis for this potential lethal army based on military intelligence, strength, and endurance. And the next minute you're just going, oh, can I have a bunch of bloody whiskies, and then falling asleep and throwing up everywhere. It's crazy.
Thing is, me and Mark didn't throw up, but I really feel like
the 2 big ones did.
Yeah, they did.
First, Rob.
They both woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, not necessarily all at the same time, but they were just throwing up oysters. It was always like gobs of snot just coming down the porcelain telephone. I was very much of a different thing, so I'd kind of made my peace before I went to bed, and I kind of felt I probably should throw up, but I don't want to. And if I do choke on my own vomit in the night, then I'm happy with how heavy
There's my soldier.
Yeah, it's like I'm happy with how this night went, and I'll be sad for my family. But on the whole, what a showing. so
at least I went out.
But then something shit happened.
Oh no!
I woke up and I was fucking mortally hungover.
Was you terribly hungover?
It was pretty bad. Yeah, it was the worst time. And I mean, you've got several ways to look at this. Was it the Guinness? Was it the oysters? Was it the whiskey? Or
I can categorically tell you the oysters didn't get you hungover, so we can disregard that immediately.
But was it the Guinness then?
Well, whiskey as just by its definition, it fucks me up. This is purely anecdotal now. It will fuck me right up. Combine it with anything dark, beer-wise, worse. Just horrific. I reckon Guinness and whiskey is a lethal combo. Now, you're lucky you escaped the red wine because...
Well, this is where I'm really glad that we went Katy Perry on it and went Prosecco.
Proper red wine and whiskey hangover is the worst thing on the planet. I think I'd rather die.
Yeah,
I've gone through a few of those and they're just the worst. Like, I remember one Christmas, it was a couple of days after Christmas, I couldn't even drink water.
Oh.
And Hannah will tell you, I sat on the stairs, we had some people come over, and I couldn't even blink at them. And I was like Gollum in the corner. I was just going,
What I like to think is that she was also saying, it's fine, he's on ketamine.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense.
That didn't help either. Terrible.
Right. Well, that was a good story. Have we got some news to get through? Because I feel like we do, actually. And I'll tell you why we do have some news. Because originally, before Steve needed a collab, I had this idea for a beer name, which was... Oh, I left the Sureshot on.
Yeah.
And it ties in with news.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I alluded to it earlier
Yeah.
when I picked up the sour Sureshot beer we had. Everything's changed.
All change in Manchester / Wigan / Chorley.
Well, some of the leading lights of craft beer, they're all moving around and doing.
It's like a game of chess.
It's like Game of Thrones,
Or that. Yeah.
except the geography is accurate.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they do want to kill each other, but I don't know about that.
No, possibly. We don't
Maybe
know inner work.
one of them is sleeping with their sister. I don't know.
Well,
Who knows? I mean, when you're up in that neck of the woods in the northwest, who knows? Anyway, yes. So
I'm gonna die.
the news was, we saw recently that one of our friends from State of Kind, Stu, who we interviewed in our Rivington series,
Who I'm going to affectionately call Mad Stew.
Mad Stu. Yeah, he's moved.
Awesome.
He obviously got the bug while he was over at Rivington because he's moved over to Rivington.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what position he's in.
I don't know. A brewer?
I don't know how many brewers Rivington has now. 'cause
I'd
they're
imagine
the
they say
same fucking
you're not
awesome.
allowed to be head brewer. You've not been here long enough.
Yeah,
That's what I would say to him.
but man, his style of beer will fit in with Rivington.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
he's moved from State of Kind up in Wigan, who were one of our most exciting breweries of last year. In his place, John from State of Kind has brought in James from Sureshot, a brewery that he founded.
I don't understand.
Yeah, so he's moved. Oh, and we don't understand the full details on
But
this, but
James wasn't a brewer, was it? I don't think he was a brewer.
he might have just been the founder.
Yeah, so it's all quite interesting, really.
Yeah, but James, while he was at Cloudwater, was one of the architects of the
Because he came from Cloudwater.
the V series. Then he left Cloudwater to set up Sureshot, which is now done. Maybe he's just setting up fucking tents everywhere. I don't know. We had him on the Bruiser
Yeah, it was good
Project
fun.
X thing,
Yeah.
and it was he caused a massive feedback loop. he had us open on multiple screens with the sound on.
Yeah,
and it just fucking went.
He's
quiet.
a brilliant beer maestro, but technology savvy he ain't. That much is clear.
But what I liked about the cut of his jib was that what he was essentially saying is just give the people what they want.
Yeah.
If they want hazy beer, just fucking do it. Just throw them juice bombs. Throw juice bombs until they get so
You say
hot, shrapnel sick.
I know you're saying juice bombs, but it keeps sounding like jizz bombs.
Juice
It's
bombs.
alarming me.
I mean, I'm just there chucking ropes. Just hop ropes.
chucking white hot ropes all over the
White hot ropes. I never said that.
all
White hop ropes.
because
is what I said.
that means a completely different thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You're
no,
on about spunk, and you know it.
So I am. And so he's gone there. But then the reason why I had this thing, which is why it came to the fore, I left the Sureshot on. Who's there at Sureshot?
I don't, who's what?
Who is there?
Yeah.
Who's there now? James has left. And
Oh man, I've left the Sureshot on, man.
I left the Sureshot on. Because this is the thing. When we spoke to Stu, he left the elements on, didn't he?
He did. He did do that.
So, I mean, it all kind of melds together as some nice hoppy mess, which I think is apt given, the three breweries involved.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what's happening because Sureshot have been knocking out some consistently great hazy shit. Can't really get beyond the sour, but it's not my bag.
But I mean,
But
you're not
State of
supposed
Kind
to.
State of Kind did some mad shit in 2024, which I was really excited about. So, yeah, let's see what's happening.
I have some other great news.
Great.
Well, kind of, yeah. I also feel like I want to take I want to take credit for us on this. Because you know that we've been saying for the last couple of months that CAMRA need to pull the fucking socks up and do something.
Yeah.
Well, get this. On the 25th of April, Carlsberg slammed for misleading punters with imitation cask beer. CAMRA has renewed calls for the brewing giant to stop selling imitation cask beer brands 1 year on from the fresh ale launch. Now, this is absolutely applause-worthy. I love it. So this fresh ale stuff is absolute bullshit.
Yeah, it's marketing bullshit and just lies, basically.
So this is where they try and make out that it's a cask ale, but then they're selling it through a keg.
Yeah.
Tap.
I mean,
and you're looking at it like, what's going on there? That doesn't look right.
Gaslit by a fucking Marston Cools. Jesus.
So this fresh ale, fresh nonsense.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Thankfully, CAMRA is now calling it for what it is.
Now, see, this is great. This is what CAMRA was designed to do. It's exactly what they should be doing.
Bang on.
Get political. Get fucking in people's faces about it. This is gonna be a massive feather in the cap to people like Johnny Garrett and the Crop Beer channel with all their, keep cask alive stuff, which we'll get into in another series. But this is good. This is good. Can't fault them for this.
No. This is really good.
It's not one to fault CAMRA all the time.
No. But the thing is, you've got to look at it. And the fresh ale concept is keg beer served through handpulls at the bar, masquerading as cask beer. Commenting, CAMRA chairman Ash Corbett Collins, enjoying a pint of cracking cask beer from your local pub is one of life's great pleasures. True. Cask beer is the real deal, a fresh live product crafted with great care by UK's best brewers. Our traditions of enjoying great cask beer is under threat from Carlsberg's plan to keep rolling out their fresh ale. True. Which we believe is an inferior substitute for proper cask beer.
But I don't understand how that works anyway. I mean, okay. Other than just saying this is cask beer, people who don't know otherwise are still not going to care. But surely, unless it's on a cask pull,
it's not cask.
Who are they trying to fool?
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
Do you think someone's going to go with it? Oh, have
is
one
it
of your
gravity hand pulled, or is it?
As you go. Can I have one of your amazing cask beers, Mister?
And they go, sure, I'll give you a Worthington's.
And then you just go straight to the same taps you usually do, because they've just changed the fucking Madry out for this shit. And surely the one person who knows what they're talking about in that situation is going to go, hang on a minute, this is bullshit.
Fuck yeah.
And this is my hot take on this. I almost kind of respect the brewery for that. Because
you don't mean that.
No. It's like, fuck up. No one else gives a shit.
But
like, that's what I'm saying. Who are they trying to fool?
I think what they're doing is literally pushing it to the point of how far can we push this before there's a point where someone actually pushes back, and that's the thing right now.
There's a brazen fucking,
everything's been.
It's so fucking brazen. I'm always like, fair play, man. You do not give a flying fuck. No.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally just going to do anything you can to get you claw back 2% market share you so desperately to do to destroy local pubs, right?
to sell local fucking, I don't know, forests off so you can make more.
Fair play to them, man. Good, fair play to the marketing executives who come up with this. I'm sure you've got a massive career ahead of you. Obviously, I hope you die in the fucking head-on car crash, but no, it's bollocks though, isn't it? It's just cynical, awful, almost gaslighting in front of your face at a bar. Is it not?
It is.
Because, I am going to pour this now through a thing that clearly is in a cask dispense. Oh, you're going to let me do this, are you? Oh, fair play. There we go then. I've now just charged you £4.20 probably.
But this is the rare time when we can actually give CAMRA all the credit.
Yeah, it's good. No,
full
fair
respect.
play, CAMRA.
And
this is what you were made for. So,
and we will be getting Tim from our local CAMRA branch. He's going to come on the channel. Might even get him on the podcast. Might be quite nice to get him on the podcast, actually.
No,
do you reckon?
A proper grown-up who knows what he's talking about would be quite nice, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to really analyse that situation. Yeah. But it was really good. I'm I was so made up at that news that I didn't even bother looking at any other news that would depress me after it.
Which is all news.
Which all of the beer news probably would.
Yeah.
So basically, I just wanted to leave it at a good, solid CAMRA win.
Right.
Ooh.
Right, last leg, matey. I've just poured us a big, dark, fat beer because we've drank quite a lot tonight.
We have.
Yep, so we've got a Knights of Ren, which is a collab between Tartarus and our buddies at the aforementioned Emperor's Brewing, and it's coconut, pistachio, and chocolate. Pissed out, 12.2%, and I cannot believe we're drinking this on a school night.
Smells incredible. Cheers.
Gin.
Yeah. Considering I didn't want to record tonight because originally we had tomorrow in mind.
We've still got tomorrow.
Oh, God.
It's still happening. I hope so. We've got like loads of meetings.
Oh, fucking hell. But yeah, I mean, this is.
That's like adult wafer biscuits, isn't it?
I mean, whatever Damien touches, and obviously, you know, Tartarus are also awesome because we did do a podcast episode with Damien where he was pretty much just raving about this beer, which is actually quite nice because he just started brewing this at that time. It was back in December.
Yeah, I mean, he's usually in Pistalto, like really kind of just those big, dry, adult, grown-up, boozy ones. And this is very adult and boozy, but it's also got a nice bit of sweetness to it. And the kind of older and more cynical I get with these kind of stouts, if I'm getting a big stout, I kind of want the sweet unctuousness. I'm all right with it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm getting that.
I'm turning like into an old woman. I just want to drink more.
Eats
more sweet things.
That's really good. And, you know, to be honest, that's in a 330 can. We're sharing that can.
Yeah.
But I do feel that I could drink one of those.
Really? I was going to say that's
over an hour.
Over an hour?
Over just one of your Earth hours, please.
I just said like an old woman. What I've actually meant was like my old nan who's just mainline sweet chocolate things
She's used to drink imperial.
Yeah, so
all the time.
Not to insult any old women out there.
Well, they've got sweet tooths. Have we got any AOB, which is any other business?
We've got
corporate lingo.
We've done lots over the past few weeks, and we've got lots coming out. We don't want to dwell too much on it because spoiler alert.
Actually, yeah. One of the things that I do want to get out of the way is that we will, for you guys watching the podcast, it probably won't affect you, but for you guys that are listening to the podcast, it may affect you. We're going to be changing the RSS feed name from Fantasy Beer Name Podcast to probably something like Planet Beer TV or Planet Beer TV Presents, or, you know. But essentially,
are we aligning brands?
Well, it's because we've got other podcasts coming out now. Yeah. So we will be doing. Yeah. There's a podcast coming out that we're doing really soon, which is called Death Row Beers. That's coming. Obviously, we've just started releasing People in Beer.
Yep.
Which is our series, which is talking to people that are not necessarily involved in beer. They're involved like in the kind of scene around it.
Adjacent. Yep.
So I don't want to set up separate RSS feeds for all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unify it as one big Planet Beer TV thing. Because also the one thing that I found, and this was something that you flagged up really early on, but I didn't understand it. So I'm going to cede to your magnificent majesty, I guess. But when we first did the Fantasy Beer Name podcast and I was setting it all up, I was like, well, the author's name is Planet Beer TV.
Yeah.
What's the title? And I was like, well, it's the Fantasy Beer Name podcast. But then when you were telling people to search for it, they were like, I'm typing in Planet Beer TV and I can't get anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, it's because it's only looking at the title. So, yeah, ultimately, what I'm trying to say is by changing the name from Fantasy Beer Name Podcast to Planet Beer TV, all you need to do is type that word in to all of your favourite podcast platforms, and all of our podcasts will be at your behest.
Did you just oomph that? Did you just Hollywood oomph? Hollywood oomph.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. So we've got a bunch of new things coming out under the banners of, I guess, people in beer. And we've got this new concept that Chris just mentioned called Death Row Beers, which is really exciting. We won't dwell on this, by the way, but we've just done our conceptual piece with should we say it?
Yeah, let's say it.
Say it. So we've just done our first conceptual piece with our guinea pig, our
willing volunteer.
I'm going to say a bunch of animals in one go here, but a badgered guinea pig. So we harassed him pretty hard to do this, and God bless him, he obliged to it. So Johnny Garrett from
the Keep Cask Alive campaign,
from the Kit Kat advert,
the famous author who also has a YouTube channel.
So Johnny Garrett came on and he humoured us while we threw a new conceptual interview piece at him, and it went really well.
It did. He helped sell it, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was the main thing. I think what we wanted to do was get this one episode which we could get out as like a pilot, and then we can send it to other people. And I think the thing is, it'll help us get bigger fish. So basically, this podcast is, if you know Films to Be Buried With, and you know the Off Menu podcast, and you put them together, and you let me and Paul fuck it a little bit, then you've basically got Death Row Beers. Am I wrong?
I mean
that's kind of, it's exactly what it is.
Didn't I let us all fuck it analogy, but yeah, basically.
Well, let's all have a go on it, mate.
Two's up. Right, so
let's run a train on it.
So yeah, we oh Christ's sake, I thought we were doing quite well there.
One of the other things I do need to mention is like Death Row Beers, it does need a sponsor. So if you want it, at the moment the only sponsor is us with our Patreon. Now I'm not sure if I mentioned that we've got a Patreon. Actually, that does tie in quite nicely with our 10th Patreon. Well, the one that bought it, and you know who it was? The guy who signed up for the 10th spot.
Go on.
You're a legend, Steve. It was Steve Power.
Oh, Steve Power Hour.
He signed up, and he was the 10th Patreon.
Nice. Good work, Steve.
But yeah, we're never going to stop talking about the Patreon, by the way. So you can either get on board and ignore all this, or if you are still listening now and you're not involved, or you're even considering being involved,
move on, you capitalist pig.
Just do it. Just do it. Just fall in. Just fall in line. Come on in.
The good thing is he doesn't control any money. I do, so he doesn't get any of it. So
yeah, that is true. It all goes into a bank account that I don't know what happens with.
I'm Father Tedding this shit. It's just resting in my account.
Come to us. You can register for free, and you will get some benefits. It won't be as many benefits as you will get if you pay just at least £2 a month.
This is the creepiest fucking sales pitch I've ever heard in my entire life.
Come on in. The water's warm. The beer isn't.
Oh, stop saying that.
Beer is nice and cool. It's cold chained.
But don't get in it.
Everything is cold chained here.
It's everything cold chained. Which bit?
Come on in.
Metaphorical cold chaining. Is that what we're doing?
I kind of lost my way. I was really kind of getting into it. I think we could do some ASMR.
This is the problem. You get a slight bit of power, and you go, oh, I'm just going to say whatever I want to my.
This is delicious.
My little subjects, and I do whatever I want.
I mean, to be fair, what I've really liked so
Pay
far,
me some money, like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's not a pyramid scheme. They don't have to tell anyone.
If it's a Patreon as a pyramid scheme, I'm just saying, pay me some money like a pyramid scheme.
As I say, it isn't a pyramid scheme though.
You said it was.
It's not like Avon. We're not telling them to sell a fucking...
Don't you dare say Avon's a pyramid scheme. My mother was very involved in that.
You don't have to sell any beers. Unless, maybe, when we do a Steve collab, maybe...
Do you remember Avon? I'm sorry, but Avon...
Could we sell it via Avon?
Like, everyone was into Avon.
I remember Avon, yeah.
Everybody.
Everyone did it. Do you remember the pools?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the pools. That was a pyramid scheme, right? Was that just postcode lottery?
Nah, that was a pyramid scheme, was it?
I just remember
the pools weren't.
Weren't they? Were they the postcode lottery?
Basically the postcode lottery. But do you remember Head the Ball?
No.
So you used to get the news agents, and there'd be a rack with all these kind of things you could send off to the papers, and put your quid in, and my dad would get it every week, and it was a photo from last week's a League Cup football game, and they'd be jumping up in the air, and they'd have frozen it, and you had to put a cross on where the ball was.
Oh, I remember that. I remember those sort of games.
There's a ball.
Yeah. Oh, silly games.
That was a big deal for my dad. We had to go there every weekend. Pick up.
Jesus Christ! I mean, that just shows how little they had to do with that social media.
You know how much you won?
Go on.
Nothing. Because why would he? Why would anybody?
You may as well just play the what's that thing that everyone does with money? Premium bonds.
Yeah, premium bond is actually a very efficient tap.
I mean, you may as well just do that.
Anyway, right. Welcome to another edition of Planet Money. If you've got any spare cash and you're too scared of investing, please put it into premium
the Patreon. No, whack it in the Patreon. Fuck the premium bonds. Whack it in the Patreon. I think we need to wrap this up.
Please don't.
This has gone really well.
It's like 11:30.
Yeah.
Jesus, we've been going up in the morning.
We've been doing this since 7:30.
Jesus Christ.
Well, not this specific episode, but we've just been drinking, and it's not a surprise to anyone, is it?
I've only got 3 meetings tomorrow with America. Calm down, Matt Hagel. I might be slightly slow on the uptake. You won't care. Right, brilliant. So I think we've covered a lot today.
I think we did, considering we don't have Luke and we won't have the drip tray this time, but we will update the Patreon with 2 extra episodes of the People in Beer podcast. So,
coming soon. Yeah.
Fuck it. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. The Fantasy Beer Name podcast is brought to you by Planet Beer TV. This episode was recorded by Luke Bartlett. Thanks once again to our wonderful sponsors, Mosaic Board Printers.